Hi, it's Jason. I want to talk to you about my journey to medical school because people aren't fully aware of some of the things I had to go through to get into medical school. And I just started out, I went to Northwestern University for undergrad. As a pre-med, I knew when I got to college that I wanted to be a physician because there were some personal issues with my grandparents, both my grandmother on my maternal and paternal side of the family. They both got sick at the same time when I was young, so that kind of gave me my impetus to pursue a career in medicine. So I came to Northwestern, definitely knew I wanted to be a doctor, took my pre-med classes, and Northwestern was a rude awakening taking general chemistry. It was very, very hard. It wasn't easy at all. And we're on a quarter system, so every quarter there'd be less and less of my classmates in chemistry because they were dropping out, they were taking time away, or they were just making a decision that medicine wasn't for them, but I knew I couldn't give up no matter what because I wanted to be a doctor. So you just tough it out, you do as many problems as possible, you just study as your tail off. I was in the library 7 days a week. That was my mantra. That a good week involved 7 days in the library without a doubt. And so that's what I did. And Northwestern was just kind of brute. I was also political science major, so for me, it was a little bit different or interesting because my poli sci classes, I got A's or B's, nothing less than that. But those science classes, it was tough. It was a lot of work. And then what happened would be that a lot of my classmates, we would actually go to Harvard summer school to complete some of our sciences courses because it was easier than at Northwestern. So I actually went to Harvard is where I completed my the first summer I went there, I took biology. I liked Harvard so much I came back and I did organic chemistry at Harvard too. So I basically took all my pre-med classes at Harvard. I was at Northwestern for general chem and physics as well. And so by the time I was ready to take the MCAT, my GPA wasn't the best in the sciences. The non-science was very, very well, but the science GPA wasn't the best. So I had all this pressure on myself that I had to do well in the MCAT. I had to do well in the MCAT, and I took a Kaplan classroom course because I was a president of Premed Society. So that was one of the perks of being able to do that. And I'm in this class doing all the problems, doing everything, and I'm just not seeing a huge jump in my score where it's competitive, and I'm like very despondent. Like no matter what I do, it's just not coming together. I'm not having the scores that I need to have for being competitive for medical school, and this will just play out for a couple months because I give myself a lot of time to prepare for the MCAT, and then over the summer things would change. I'd meet with a physician. He would tell me what I need to do for the MCAT, everything like that. Went and took my MCAT. To make a long story short, I had an awesome score on the MCAT where Harvard Medical School was recruiting me based on my MCAT score. So I'm like, yes, this is great. I have what it takes to get into medical school. And then I submitted my applications and I wasn't getting a lot of responses. I'm like, what's going on? Maybe too many Ivy League schools. Let me add some other schools to the mix. And as the application cycle wore on and there was only a couple of schools waiting for me to hear back from, I was very concerned because no interviews. And then I didn't get into medical school. The last medical school sent that email like, we're sorry with the admissions process, very competitive, too many applicants. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors. So I was like despondent. I was very upset. Like, what am I going to do? I wanted to be a doctor. I don't know anything else to do with my life or whatever. Well, I was actually working in a pharmaceutical company, so I was doing something with my life, but everything I had geared towards was be getting into medical school and becoming a doctor. So then I'm like, okay, well, this isn't working. I know my GPA probably wasn't the best. It wasn't horrible. So let me apply to grad schools and get like a master's or something like that. And it was during that process applying to master's programs, I found out there was an error in my application from AMCAS. One of the schools manually went through it and they said, no, there's something wrong. You need to contact AMCAS. So I got contact of AMCAS. They looked over things. They had to forward everything up to a supervisor. And in 3 weeks, they got back to me and said that we made an error in your application. We gave you 0 credit for your Harvard courses. So if you look at my application, it looks like I took everything I needed to do, but the computers didn't give me any credit. They made an internal error trying to switch over from Northwestern being on the quarter system to Harvard being on the semester system. And that just totally took me out the running. So all the computers just knocked my application out as somebody who didn't even have all the prerequisites to be applying to medical school. So that was not fun at all. And so I found this out after I was like on my way to grad school, and I couldn't do anything. Like the application cycles have already begun. I already was rejected. So I went along, did my grad school at Boston University School of Medicine. So I'm back in Boston again. I love Boston. That's one of my favorite cities aside from Chicago and everything like that. So I did my master's program, and I'm like, okay, that's great. Now I got to retake the MCAT. So I had to retake the MCAT again because some time elapsed, and then I applied to med schools, got interviews this time around, multiple interviews. So like, this is great. This is amazing, and got into a couple of med schools and ended up in medical school in New York City. And that was great because I've never thought I'd be a medical student in New York City. So I've been in a lot of big cities: undergrad in Chicago, grad school in Boston, medical school in New York City. And this is just to tell you guys out there, like, there's a lot of things that can happen in your application process of getting into medical school, but don't give up, don't lose hope, because if you want to be a doctor, it's totally possible. You can get into medical school. It might not be the journey and process that you wanted, because I didn't want to have this extended process and journey towards getting into medical school, but I'm totally happy for it. I'm excited about where my future is taking me and where it has taken me already, because now I'm about to graduate from medical school and be a physician. And so if I would have just given up that first time I didn't get in, then I would not be where I'm at today. So I just want to encourage everybody out there that not everybody has a straightforward path to medical school and doesn't have any bearing on how you're going to do medical school or what type of physician you're going to be. So I just wanted to share that so you guys have a little bit understanding about my background, where I'm coming from. Just because you see Northwestern, you see Harvard, you see Boston University School of Medicine, doesn't mean like, oh, I'm some academic genius, everything totally easy for me and everything's been a walk in the park. No, but I've been dedicated. I've been very persistent, just like in undergrad, 7 days a week at the library. Probably did the same in grad school or something like that, and definitely was kicking in high gear in medical school, really putting on the time and effort to be where I wanted to be so that I can be a physician. So this is Jason with just giving you guys some advice, insights, and letting you know about a little bit more about my journey, my background to medical school, and all the stuff that happened along the way. And so, yeah, I had to retake the MCAT. It was not fun, did not like that at all, because my scores expired and everything like that. But totally worth it to be where I'm at now, to be all set to graduate from medical school and be a doctor and just get moving on to the next chapter of my life. Again, this is Jason. Take care and enjoy.